All right, Coach, you've had a couple of days to review the film from the Tulane game. What kind of stood out when you analyzed everything?
I think our effort, as much as anything, I thought our kids played extremely hard. Was really proud of them for that. It's one of the things that we talked about. And I thought assignment-wise, we were just better in all three phases of the game. And there's still a lot out there that we can be a lot better at. That's what today was about. Guys back in the building, get an opportunity to go back through the film with them and get out on the grass for a little bit. And, now you're on to the next one.
Josh, from the moment Marlon Williams arrived on campus and when you guys got there, what did you see from him and what kind of development have you seen over the last couple of years that's made him kind of that elite receiver so far?
I think one of the things about Marlon that you appreciate is just his versatility. He's played inside, he's played outside. We've used him off the edge in some blocking situations in short yardage. You've seen him in the backfield at times as well. His ability to play different spots is one of his key attributes. Plays extremely strong with the football in his hands, knows how to use his body, shield defenders, and has really natural hands. Those are all things that are attributes that he's had. I just think, he's grown so much, and that's true of your young players in your program. We were talking about it today just as a football team. There's a process and an investment that you have to make to continue to improve every single day. And it doesn't just happen because you want it to happen. You got to put in the time and effort, and that's one of the things that Marlon has done. And he stayed the course and having had a huge week last week, but having a good season as well.
Coach, now after your fifth game, you guys are officially past the halfway point of this season, which seems improbable considering how fast it's gone. But just looking at the overall picture of how the season has gone, how would you assess the team after 50% of your schedule?
I assess us by I think, we were talking today as a football team. You're only as good as your next performance. And, our record is what it is. That's who and what we are as a football team right now. We're defined this week by what happens on Saturday, control today. And the season's gone fast in some ways. In other ways, it's been a long journey to get to this point too. And I think our guys have an appreciation for today, just everything that they've gone through. And let's focus on that and enjoy being around each other and come into the building with great energy and let's go compete.
Coach, can you kind of assess where your offensive line is at? They had a couple rough weeks with the penalties. Those issues seem to be corrected. They were facing a D-line the other day that had been leading the league in sacks. Seemed like they held their own. Can you just kind of assess, how those guys have grown the past couple of weeks?
Yeah, unique just as far as how training camp unfolded. Really, majority of the guys that are playing together didn't necessarily get the opportunity to play together during training camp, just as we split into two different groups trying to protect ourselves from COVID and how you were able to divvy up the reps and who could play center and all of those things. It was a unique way to get into the first week of the season. There's been some things that we had to get corrected, the false start penalties. I think as much as anything, they stuck together as a group. They're cohesive. They fight and play for one another. Had a really good performance last Saturday, but they're only as good as this next one coming up in Houston.
Yeah, Josh, you've obviously been around a lot of explosive offenses, but halfway through the season, you guys are on pace to maybe break the record for yardage. What is it about this offense that has been just so efficient and playing well?
We're good when we play 11 guys as one. Everybody's doing their job. When we struggled, maybe one guy that isn't operating at full capacity. The challenge for us moving forward is to continue to do those things, to compete and prepare in a great way. Understand that there's ups and downs during the course of a ball game too, and if you're not clicking on all cylinders, settle in, everybody do their job, and let's go execute at a high level. We've gained a bunch of yards because we've got really good players, and they bought into the process and how to prepare and get themselves in the right spot at the right time. It's a challenge that we continue to have as we move forward.
Coach Jake Hescock caught a touchdown on Saturday. How has he improved as an older guy? It might be harder for, more veteran presence like him to improve, whereas younger guys, year to year? How has he improved as a tight end, maybe?
How does Jake improve? I'm sorry, the volume's down here on this, so I'm having a hard time hearing you guys a little
Yeah,
bit.
just how has Jake improved as a tight end, maybe as a catching tight end and a blocking tight end?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that was a point of emphasis for him, just being able to grow in his ability for us to use him down the field and in the pass game. He caught a couple passes this past week. One's a touchdown. I think he's grown as a complete player, but as an emphasis, Coach Golish coming in, I think he's gotten into details of route running, coverage, recognition, and trying to put himself in the right place for the quarterback to catch the ball. He does have good hands, always has. He's continued to work and improve in that area too. I think Jake's just bought into the process off the field as much as anything, that how I do anything is how I do everything. And he's grown into the man that he's capable of being off the field as well. And that's parlayed into him playing at a higher level.
Josh, you mentioned Alex. You brought him in this year to be co-offensive coordinator. What have you seen from him, and how has the team responded, and some of the things that he's been able maybe to institute into the program?
I think he's bought in to the culture and what we're trying to accomplish here. Dove into who and what we were offensively, our identity. Brought some ideas from the outside that proved beneficial to us as we play situational football and what we do in normal downs. And he's a part of my eyes up top from the press box on game day. He and Coach Halsley have done a great job up there just recognizing what's going on in the front seven and the back end. How are the subtle adjustments that we need to make, and done a great job.
Coach, how beneficial is it for your offense when your defense performs the way it did up front with 11 tackles for losses and 5 sacks? How does that really change the offense, getting those kinds of stops?
I think it changes the way the game's played for us as a team. It's never about offense or defense or special teams. It's how we play together as a football team. There are going to be ups and downs. I thought the competitive composure from our defense was the best that it's been this week. And when I say that about the defense, I really mean our entire football team too. Give up a couple of drives, calm competitors on the sideline, take some of the adjustments from our coaching staff, able to implement those things and go out perform at a high level. I thought they played cohesively. They played for the guy next to them. They played their assignment. And when you do that, you fall. When you play your assignment, you play really hard. You fall into the plays that can be made. And up front, we were able to make some plays that we haven't been able to make here early in the season.
Coach, the first few games you had rotated several players at that corner position. This past game, you really just went with 2 the entire game with Devontae Brown and Corey Thornton. What did you see from that unit, sticking with 2 guys, and especially Devontae Brown? It seems like maybe he's one of the freshmen that's maybe emerged a little bit more.
Yeah, just during the course of the week, those guys earned the opportunity to get the first crack at it during the course of play. Played extremely well. Played the ball in the air, and when they gave up a play, came right back and responded in a positive way. Again, just as the season unfolds, you don't know when your opportunity is going to rise. Prepare for that opportunity so that you take full advantage of it. Those guys took advantage of it on Saturday, but we're going to need the bulk of those guys as we continue down the stretch here this season.
Josh, you got Houston this week. What do you see out of the Cougars and when you guys hit the road?
Yeah, really good football team. Lost a tough one against a BYU team that's ranked in the top 15. I think they're extremely athletic at the skill spots, offensively and defensively. Their quarterback's playing at a really high level. They're throwing and catching it and moving the ball up and down the field. On the defensive side of the ball, doing a great job against the run. Less than 3 yards carry, I think, right now. So it's a huge test for us as an entire football team. We got to be at our best in all 3 phases of the game. We got to correct some of the things on special teams that we gave up last week. We're fully capable of doing those things. We've got to be great in our preparation, win the preparation battle, and then go play extremely hard against a really good football team.
Coach, one more about Marlon. Obviously, once you lost Trey, that's a big part of your offense there in week 1. After that, and even though Marlon had a good game against Georgia Tech, but after that game, did you see Marlon maybe in the week after with practice and the weeks going forward, Marlon know that he had to take on more of of the bulk role of getting more targets, more receptions? Did he know they had to step up even more with Trey out of the lineup?
I think every game unfolds a little bit differently. I mean, there's matchups that you're trying to attack as you go into a football game, and then you make adjustments during the course of play. I don't think Marlon has approached practice any differently, from the beginning of training camp to after Trey getting injured. Did he feel like he maybe was going to get more targets because of that? Maybe, but I think he's just taken advantage, and he's played each play really independent of himself. He's done a really good job, in my opinion, in that way, growing, and even when the ball's not coming to him as the primary target, he's continued to find the open zone, and all of a sudden there's scramble drills or Dylan works through his progression, and he's been in the right spot at the right time. And I think that's just part of his growth as a football player, and understanding that every play matters. And I got to do a great job when I'm the primary target or when I'm not. He does a great job on perimeter screens, blocking. Every role that we've asked him to take this year, he's accepted and played really well in it.